Welcome to Driving the Lane with Randy Kraayenbrink and Chuck Rowe. Now, Driving the Lane.
Welcome to Driving the Lane. Randy Kraayenbrink, Chuck Rowe, the show where we talk mostly about one thing only, and that is
Panther basketball.
Now, it's important that we remind you that even though we are the official UNI basketball show for the Panther Collective, our comments may not reflect the feelings of our friends at UNI. However, Randy is a former player, and I have this autographed AJ Green card, so this show is as official as it's going to get. So, as always, we have a great show for everyone. Joining us today, AJ Green, and then we have the Panther Collective questions of the week, and of course, the Financial Architects quote of the week. Let's get started. Randy, excited to have with us today. Drum roll, please.
I don't know how to do the drum roll on my phone, AJ. Sorry.
AJ, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me. I'm excited for it.
AJ, do me a favor and look at this guy over here. If you were a time traveler, what three pieces of advice would you go back and tell this young AJ Green?
What piece of advice? I think I would just encourage him, really. I don't think I would change anything. I think I've actually thought about, everything that how I worked and what I worked on growing up, and if I would change any of it and do anything differently. And I don't think I would. I think I would just, encourage him to keep working hard and keep dreaming big.
Okay.
That's very cool. Hey, AJ, one thing, we've had you on the show a few times, right? And one thing, talk about us like who inspired you? Who did you look up to? Who encouraged you? I mean, who was kind of your cheerleader at the end of the day when you were that age?
It was
not your parents. Not your parents.
Can't be my parents.
Or your sister.
Other than my parents, I mean, I always had great coaches, I suppose, whether it was, in AAU, and then getting into high school and obviously college. So I would probably just say my coaches. I had a lot of support, obviously from family and everything and friends, but I think just the coaches I had did a great job of just encouraging me and keeping me, on the right path, the right direction.
Well, especially during those high school years, you're getting, and Randy, I mean, you know how this was when you got recruited. I mean, you're getting letter after letter and, go to here, go to there. As a player who's young, how do you stay grounded so you don't let that get to your head, that you still stay a really decent human being to other folks? How do you do that?
I'd say, two things. One is, I always just knew where I wanted to be. And this was always my dream to get to this level and play here. And so I think just keeping that in my mind, knowing that there's always work to be done and never really feeling like I had gotten to the next step, I guess. And then I'd say two, just having faith in Christ and knowing the humility that brings, and you're never going to be above yourself, kind of there's always something more to point the glory to or the credit to, really. So kind of just was fortunate to be raised that way with my parents, and that kind of just paved me into who I am, I'd say.
Very cool. I remember Chuck and AJ when I was young. Clearly, I didn't make it to AJ's level, right? But I had a little bit of success. And I remember my parents. I was raised in a Christian home as well, with Christian parents, which is outstanding, right? Be humble was the main thing that my parents told me over and over and over. And I think that's what stuck with me today. And clearly, Chuck, we can tell from what AJ's done and how he's acted and reacted. AJ, I just want to say congrats, man. It's very cool for you, number one, to talk about your faith, right? And number two, just for you to be a humble guy who wants to bring others along with you and all that fun stuff. So it's very cool, and thanks for bringing that up.
No, thank you, Randy. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I would ask that you don't be too humble, and now you just kind of let it fly all the time. because indirectly you're tied to my retirement. I have this AJ Green autograph card right here. And if you can start shooting a 30 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists every game for the rest of your career, that would be great. I'm not asking for much. I mean, that would be awesome if you could.
Give me some time. 2
Yeah.
years.
How does that work when it comes to signing these basketball cards? I mean, how many are you getting at a time that you have to sign for these companies? Is it like you go there or they mail them to you and you're just kind of John Hancocking it away? How does that work?
Yeah, yeah, I just had a Panini deal, and so they just send them to you, and they send 5,000 just little, like the little stickers, kind of at a time, and so they send them to you, and then you get X amount of days just to finish them. So there's 2 sets, excuse me, 2 sets of 5,000
Oh my gosh.
that I signed. So very monotonous, but it's definitely worth it. And it's cool just being able to say I have a card. It's pretty cool.
So when you're signing 10,000 of these little slips, like when are you doing this? Is it like in the mornings before workouts? Are you on the plane? Is everyone on the plane just signing their own strips there? How does this work?
I would just do it at home. Like I'd split it up throughout the day. Like I calculated it, so if I knew I did this many per day, then it would take this many days. It's like 100 signatures, or no, it's like 54 signatures per sheet of paper or something. So I just would do some in the morning, and then in the middle of the day when I get back, and then some at night.
Hey, so Chuck, I want to know, do you have one of AJ's first day autographs, or when he's into it about 20 days? Do you have one of those autographs? Or you got the real deal there?
No, unfortunately, this is not a rookie autograph. This
Okay.
is yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll work on that. I'll have to scout out eBay a little bit harder or something. So
You got to talk
That's
to Coach
awesome.
Jake. I think Coach Jake's got a few of them. He's always on the lookout.
oh, he's a big basketball card collector. I don't know if he'll let that go, but I'll try. So now, AJ, I told you before that our household, we're a New York Knicks fan. I grew up in the area, so it's kind of in my blood, and I apologize for that. But the Bucks have become our favorite, like 1B team. I mean, the Knicks are here. The Bucks
Yep.
are literally like right here, and that says a lot. I want to let you know how much that means. So, what's it like knowing that you single-handedly helped to create more Bucks fans, not just in our family, but I mean the entire Cedar Valley?
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think my wife will always send me pictures or videos because she's back home for the semester, whether it's at a game or just out in public or something. If anybody's wearing some Bucks gear or a little AJ Green jersey, and I just think, one, I'm blessed to have all that support and that people want to support me back home and cheer on and are interested to see what's going on, how I'm doing, how the games are. So I'm grateful for that, and it's just cool to bring more fans to the Bucks. Such a great organization and great team, and we're gonna do big things this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are off to a fantastic start. Keep it up. Talking a little bit about, I think we visited kind of off recording about maybe travel and kind of how your day-to-day schedule looks. When do you have time to do your extra workouts, all that stuff? Kind of maybe take us through a 3 or 4 day period, how that works.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like right now, we're home for the next like 10 or 11 days, which is really nice. So you can actually kind of get into a routine of, right after this, I'll head to shoot around this morning. And then I kind of just come back, and it's a game day. So got a game tonight at 7, and I usually get there about 4. And then tomorrow, is a kind of film practice, individual workout day. Usually in the gym I'll get there about like 10 for a little on-court work. And then they kind of just cycle through who gets like workouts in court time. And then we'll do a little walkthrough practice, watch some film, prioritize recovery a lot for guys. But when we're traveling, it's hard to kind of find that routine of knowing I can get in the gym and get my shots up here, just because it's, flights and hotels, and you don't always have court time and that type of thing. So being home is definitely nice. And we've been on the road traveling a lot in November the past month. So just going to try and make the most of it and, hopefully string a few wins together.
Now, all these new rookies that are on the team, have you stolen any of their clothes yet? Have you made them carry your bags?
No, no, I'm not. I was just there last year, so I take it easy on them. Don't really get
Yeah,
into it.
which is a great question. Whose bags did you have to carry last year?
Honestly, nobody really. We like I said, we had a great team. I really didn't have to do much at all.
That's
So,
awesome.
do they call you Rook, or is that even still a thing? Or
Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sometimes.
have you ever gone out to eat with a group and then they kind of like stick you with the bill?
No, fortunately, that hasn't happened.
Okay, okay. So all the stereotypical rookie stuff, maybe doesn't exist over in the Bucks organization
I guess,
anymore.
You know,
yeah.
it probably definitely happens on the Knicks, Chuck.
Probably, yeah.
Definitely on the Knicks.
So yeah. So, well, what about being a rookie as something else? Marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Oh yeah.
so
Mhm.
so it's been almost what, 6 months now, give or take.
It's been I mean, August 19th we got married, so I
Okay.
think this will be about 4 months coming up.
Okay. So every new married couple usually argues over something really stupid, like, this is the way that I fold the towels, or this is where I put the ketchup on the shelf. What's something really stupid that you argued at some point that you feel is pretty silly now?
Um, I mean, so she hasn't been up here full time because she's finishing up school, so it's kind of been tough. We've only seen each other, on the weekends here and there, so we really haven't gotten to truly, experience those things. I think some of it was just initially, deciding what we need for the apartment, like necessities, like some furniture and tables. I'm very minimalistic kind of guy, so
A
and it's
TV and
felt like
a TV and a recliner.
exactly in a bed, and she's not even fully up here yet, so I'm like, I don't need anything. Like I'm good with just what we got, but she just we'll have people visit, so she wants to be hospitable or have hospitality, whatever it is,
Yeah.
have everything to make people feel welcomed. So we've kind of gone back and forth on what we need and things that we need to buy, but it's been fun though. We get to create our first little home together, which is awesome. I'm very excited about it.
So in the living room, did you have like let's say a big like framed picture of Michael Jordan or something like that, where she walked in and was like, no.
I never got to hanging any of those things up. I asked about it. I said, I got some stuff we can hang up. And she's like, no, we're not putting them on the walls. So I got shot down, but maybe in the bedroom upstairs, it's out of people's sight. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, as a couple, what are some of your favorite things that you do in the Milwaukee area during the weekends?
We love to just get out and kind of explore stuff. We really haven't gotten a chance to, be here for a while and get to enjoy. Milwaukee always has different things going on, like whether it's little festivals or I don't know, just a bunch of different stuff. So kind of just checking those things out. We've been to the whole pumpkin patch, that type of thing. We just went down and cut a Christmas tree down recently for the apartment. And we like to try new food a lot. I'm a big eater, so we're always finding new restaurants.
That's when you officially know you became old, is when you started visiting the pumpkin patch, because when you're like
Right, that's
when you're
fun.
like 12 or 13-year-old, you never go to your buddies and say like, "Hey, what do you want to do this weekend? Hey, let's go to the pumpkin patch." But you're officially old now, so
I guess you could.
congratulations.
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Now, Randy, you've been married the longest here. What's the best advice you would give this young buck?
Wow.
Great
That's
question.
don't I guess I would say so if you do something wrong, try not to repeat it again.
There you go.
I guess that's what I would say. Don't
Yeah.
don't repeat it. Don't be a repeat offender.
Yeah,
There you go.
I could use that advice, Randy. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I can still use that advice, guys.
the Panthers have had high expectations for the season. Instead, they're starting off a little bit slow. You know what that could be like, because I know there were some seasons that you guys had high expectations, start a little bit slow. Mentally, what could the team be doing to just kind of keep on track?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part is mentally just to stay, focused on as much as, winning and losing is hard and can be discouraging, especially with so many close games that they've had where, they could have easily won them. I think it's really just focusing on what you can do and what you can learn and how you can get better. There's so many things outside of your control as a player, whether it's playing time, how much you might not be playing, or shots going in, shots not going in. That I think when people lose, they can become so inwardly focused that you kind of forget that it's the whole team needs to stick together and just keep working to keep building. Because you've seen it in the past. My freshman year, we were like 500, and by the time we got to the March down in St. Louis, we should have gone to the tournament. We were in that championship game, and so ultimately, that's really what the goal is, especially for mid-major schools. Like, they're not going to have an at-large, but we'll always have that chance to get in then. So just to stay together and trust it, and trust coach. He's going to get them where they need to be by the time March rolls around. So I think that's the biggest. Just control the controllables. Try to get better.
Couple things, AJ. So clearly, you're probably still in touch with some of the players, some of the older players, especially who are at the program. Have any of them reached out to you, and have you given them any personal advice?
Yeah, I'll talk to Bo. Kind of, we just stay in touch, check in with how he's doing. Every once in a while, I talk to Drew Daniel almost every week. We do Bible studies over the phone together. So he's one of my close friends. He was in the wedding. So I talk to him a lot. I'm always talking with Fife. I mean, he's not playing, but we're always talking about, how the team's doing, things they could be doing.
Yeah.
But anytime, I do talk to guys, just encouraging them, kind of the same thing I just said, especially with stuff that's going now, just to stay at it and keep the guys together, keep everybody united to get better.
Well, I'm going to name you a couple players. What I want you to do is name me maybe one or two words that you would associate with those players. What about Nate?
I'd say he could play. This is kind of more of a phrase, but like, his career is kind of just is up to him. Like, how long he wants to play in the level that he plays at is up to him. Like, we've talked about it. I'm like, Nate, if you can shoot the ball, like, continue to just shoot the ball with confidence, and you can guard better than me, like, and you're more physical and athletic than I am. Like, there's no reason you can't continue to work and play at this next level. Like, we play ones all the time, and it's back and forth. Like, he can hoop, and he knows how to play, and he showed it this year. He's taken great strides just in his playmaking and his confidence and his aggressiveness. And I think they'll continue to need that, the whole year.
Well, we talked to him, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and he brought up playing one-on-one with you and how that helped his experience. So, what about Bowen?
I say Bo is just so steady. He's one of those. He's obviously not had the greatest start that he's wanted, but this last game he got it going. I think you guys saw that. And he's always just steady and going to trust the work. He's got a tattoo on his arm that says water levels. He kind of, I take that. That's something I learned from him a lot. And it's essentially like, if you have a water bottle, right, and you like shake it up, this is adversity and whatnot. But as soon as you set it down, it all goes back to how it was. So I think that's just kind of Bo himself. Like, he's always just going to be steady and keep working and not get caught up in the highs and lows.
Now, look at this young guy teaching me something. I love that, Randy.
Yeah.
Right?
That should be
Absolutely.
your quote of the day right there. But anyways,
It could be.
What about
There you go.
Titan?
He's got that. He's the difference maker, with his energy and effort that he brings. He's a guy where you can put him in for a minute and he can impact the rest of the game just based off the change that he can bring in that minute. And he's been so consistent as well. getting to the offensive boards, rebounding, being physical, scoring around the rim. So I think his consistency is just going to carry them this year as well.
What about Cole?
Cole can be that spark, that they need off the bench. He brings a different, I guess, side to the offense other than Huddy, just with his pace that he can play with, his passing and playmaking ability. So for him just to continue to stay confident and aggressive in what he can do and how he can bring a different, perspective or side to the offense off the bench, I think will be big.
And Drew?
That's my boy. I mean, you guys saw in the Richmond game, he's always ready. Like, Drew is always ready for his moment, and he's in a tough spot because he doesn't always know when it's going to be night in and night out, but he does everything to prepare. He's the best teammate, and he's always going to be ready, and shows, when he gets his opportunities.
Now, Fife is someone we always wanted to play again. All of us across Cedar Valley crossed our fingers in hopes that he would play. We all had a lot of emotions when we found out he couldn't, but you're actually a bona fide friend of his, though. I mean, you guys are actually close. What was the emotions like for you when you found out he couldn't play?
It was hard, just knowing how much he's poured into the game throughout his entire career. And, we grew up playing together in like 5th, 6th grade. So for him to make that decision, it was tough, but I also know that he was like fully all in on that decision. There was no, doubt about it. And I think that brought him just a lot of peace to know, I've done everything I can and playing wise and impacted what I can, but he kind of took it as, all right, now I can, still impact and change, the culture and bring who he is to you and I just from the different side as coach, And so he's loving doing that. I talked to him quite a bit, and I think he's also going to be very great at what he does just because of who he is as a person, how he can relate with guys.
Yeah.
So
obviously you talked to Emerson a little bit, possibly after the Iowa game. The Panthers didn't do what they wanted to do there, but what did Emerson say about that experience in the McLeod Center?
Yeah, I think Emerson's a competitor, and so she wanted to win the game, and
right.
She was kind of just bumming about that. But, I think she did say the environment was it was unreal. And, I was kind of sad that I heard that was the most, sold out the McLeod's ever been, regardless of any game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I don't know if that's true for sure. It's just something I heard. So, but she loved it, just being on a stage like that, getting to compete and play against somebody like Caitlin and a good team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
We were there, and it was a great atmosphere, and I wish the Panthers could have pulled it out, but that was a good game.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Very, very cool.
Well, the women's team, they're trying to figure themselves out a little bit as well right now. And have you been able to, is it smart to give your sister a little bit of advice, or is it better just to kind of let her do her thing?
No, I definitely try to try and help her out, just kind of with what I'm seeing or what she maybe could do out there. So, they're kind of in a similar spot as the men's team. Just, everybody wants to win, and they've played great teams though as well. So it hasn't been easy. But I think Con is a proven coach that she's solid and gets it done. So throughout the year they'll get it going. But yeah, I'm always trying to help Emerson out. Just how she can continue to grow and help the team win.
Well, it's time for the Panther Collective Questions of the Week, where we get questions to you directly from the fans. So Here you go. Randy and I have a bunch of questions that will throw your way that are fairly random. The first being is, if I were going to a Bucks game and beforehand I wanted to grab some wings, where would you suggest I go?
Wings. There's a place in the 3rd Street Market that has some decent wings. It's just like it's like maybe half a mile from the arena. Got a bunch of different little restaurants all like grouped together, but the 3rd Street Market, that's
next question. Rumor has it that you like pizza. Where are we going to grab pizza in Milwaukee?
There's one place. What's the name of it? There's Ian's Pizza, which is pretty good, and then there's a place, Brute Pizza, which is like 2 blocks from here, and then there's another place that I've heard is really good, but I have not tried it yet. So I'll have to try that one and circle back and see which one's the best.
Okay. Well, what about this is all food related, I guess. A lot of people have some food questions,
Yes.
but you spent your entire life in the Cedar Valley. What's that one place you want to stop and eat at when you come back and visit?
Man, I'm going to Greenhouse. That's my spot, right on campus.
Okay.
And I was there. I was there every week back home. So there or Sub City, those are my 2 spots.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you wear number 20, even though you've worn number 4 forever. Why number 20?
Number 4, I couldn't have number 4. It's retired here, so it wasn't available at the time. It was like 15, 17, 19, 20, and like 27 through 30, and then high numbers. So I was just like, I thought 20 was the best one. There's really no rhyme or reason to it.
Okay. Well, we'll need to help you come up with a reason for it, or at least give you a number with
Yeah.
some love and meaning behind it. But okay.
Go
So,
for
which players on the Bucks do you pal around with the most?
it. I say Andre Jackson, rookie. Um, he's cool. Been getting to know him pretty well. I mean, I talk to Pat quite often. I mean, you're around these guys all the time, just traveling or at games. So it's kind of just all of them. Like it's just here and there, like whoever you might be at dinner with or, sitting next to on the bus, kind of. And we got a great team in general, like all these guys. So, I mean, there's really not just 1, 2, 3 guys.
Okay.
Oh, one other question. The airplane. Do they like remove 4 rows of seats on the airplane, or how do y'all fit? How do y'all fit your legs in there?
Yeah, we're very blessed with how we get to travel. It's like the seats recline and there's a lot of leg room, like all first class kind of seats.
Yeah.
So they got it. They take care of us. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
So, what is that one thing that now that you have a newer contract, and what's that one thing that you never wanted to buy before, but now you think, okay, I have an extra dollar or two. I'm finally going to like raise the level and buy something a little bit nicer.
For me, honestly, I'm saving up. Either I'm very different, I think, than a lot of players and how they would answer this. I'm either saving up for a boat, like a fishing boat, or I'm gonna save up and try and buy some land back home in Cedar Falls area. But that's probably a few years down the line. So I'm not really gonna spend. I'm just saving it.
Final question from the fans though is, did the Buck announcers give you a nickname yet?
Somebody had said, and I heard it was they were gonna try AJ Automatic.
Okay.
So, but I don't know if that's finalized or what. So I'm open to if there's nickname suggestions, they can throw them out there.
We might have to have a little contest.
Yeah.
So
sure.
on a scale 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, how much do you like AJ Automatic?
I like all nicknames. I'm not gonna hate on any of them. I'm cool with any nickname, and I'm blessed to be out there that they want to give me a nickname for playing. So I'll take whatever.
Cool.
Well, I love that you're getting more playing time this year, more consistent playing time, especially. We have a rule, Randy, in our household that we like to go to NBA games, and we have a rule that we're not allowed to go to a Knicks Bucks game because we don't want to have to root against AJ or choose against the Knicks. And so so we
Right.
have a rule. We do so that way when we go to a Bucks game, we wear nothing but Bucks gear. And so
Here we go.
hey, you're going to see us at a Bucks game this year for sure, though, because our family just loves seeing what you're doing. So thanks so much for
Yeah.
everything that you're doing representing the Cedar Valley.
No, yeah, thank you. I'm excited to have you guys down here. You'll enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You bet. Good luck. Financial Architects quote of the week. Sometimes what looks like an obstacle in your path is actually a gift to move you in a different direction.
Okay. I will say I like that water bottle deal that AJ brought up before, but this is a good one too. I like it.
Right,
So,
right.
so Randy,
Absolutely.
tell me
No,
of
that
a
was,
time when an obstacle has come in your path that you had to change directions.
oh, wow. That's a great question. So, oh, that's a tough one. So, I kind of had to make the decision after high school to play football or basketball. So that was kind of an obstacle in my path. I don't really have a great one for this, but clearly I didn't want to play football, so that was pretty simple. But it was kind of a tough decision at the end of the day. But so that
Yeah.
was more of a decision than an obstacle. But yeah, sometimes we have decisions to make. Doors open, doors close, right?
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. If I got smashed by 275-pound guys every day,
Yeah,
all day, it's a pretty easy decision for me. But
yeah, that's absolutely.
anyways, great quote. As always, good for you, good for me, good for everybody. Now it's time to say goodbye from Chuck and Randy. See you next week. Enter the closing music.